WrestleMania is the biggest two nights of the year for wrestling fans, and WrestleMania 40 is coming up soon. So you guys know I have to start making my predictions on what's going to be on the WrestleMania card. So let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Andrew here from What's Good in Wrestling. How's it going? How are you guys? Thank you so much for coming back to another video. If you guys are new here and you're a huge wrestling fan like myself, make sure to like this video and subscribe, join the roster. I'd love to have you guys here. We have tons of fun talking about wrestling, and WrestleMania 40 is going to be fun for two nights. It's going to be a banger. We're going to love it. We're going to have tons and tons of content leading up into that. This is just part one of my predictions for the card. So let's just do this. I'm going to talk a little bit about each match, some matches more than others, of course, but just remember, this is my opinion, and hopefully you guys will leave your cards and your dream matches down below, because this is all about fun at the end of the day, and we're gonna just talk about it. So the first match that I think could happen, and we've seen a little bit of a preview at the Elimination Chamber, is AJ Styles versus LA Knight. Yeah, AJ Styles can have a good match with literally anybody, and I know LA Knight isn't the best in-ring worker, but I feel like these guys could still put on a good match, and there's still a chance that both of them could be involved in the United States Championship as well with Logan Paul. But we'll get to another match that could be happening very soon involving the United States Championship. But AJ versus LA Knight seems to be a preview of what could happen because of what happened at the Elimination Chamber with the chair shot. AJ Styles going all the way to Perth, Australia just to beat that man down with a chair. They gotta face each other at WrestleMania. Another match that just seems like it's going to happen is the LWO versus Legado del Fantasma. You're going to have as many of these guys involved in WrestleMania as you can. You know, you want Carlito to get in there, Santos Escobar, Rey Mysterio, all of the people involved, Selena Vega somehow being involved. You want to get as many members of these two teams involved in a match. And look, with all the injuries and everything that's been happening in the attacks, it could just build up to a nice big WrestleMania match, and you get everybody involved. It's a win-win, and it would be really good. All these wrestlers that are involved in both factions are amazing, so why not just put them all on one of the nights of WrestleMania? It'll get a good reaction, and it'll be a good match. The third match is actually a pretty big match, and I'm not saying these matches in any particular order or how I would have it on the card, because there's two nights, of course, for WrestleMania 40. I'm going to have Jimmy versus Jey Uso. We're going to have Yeet versus No Yeet. This is a match that needs to happen. They've been asking for it. Jey Uso has just been on the top of his game. Main event Jey Uso is one of the most over wrestlers in the company right now. And Jimmy is one of the biggest heels. He's an ass. Let's be real. This guy has been doing really well with the bloodline. He's the comedy guy who sometimes takes the pin. But when it comes down to it, if you want him to have a good match, Jimmy's going to put on a clinic, and both of these guys having a match against each other, brother versus brother, Oos versus Oos, Yeet versus No Yeet, it'll be a classic. Book it. Another match that I'm not sure a lot of people will agree with me on is a nice little six-pack challenge for a future opportunity at the Women's Championship or the World title. So I wanted to get a bunch of women that potentially might miss out on WrestleMania on there, a mix of Raw and SmackDown stars going at it for a chance at the Women's World title. And I would have Tiffany Stratton, Miss Tiffy Time herself, versus Zelina Vega, versus Naomi, versus Chelsea Green, I'm not going to do the whole intro, versus Nia Jax, versus Raquel Rodriguez. Get a bunch of women in there that deserve to be on the card. And, you know, there's a bunch of women on this match. I think every single one of them could potentially win this. You could have a Liv Morgan in this match as well. There's so many deserving women. Piper Niven could also be in there. There's so many. Maybe do a battle royal. I don't know. But I'd love to see real, legitimate matches and real spots put on by these women. I think it would be a great chance for them to showcase themselves at WrestleMania. Let's get into some titles now. Let's have the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane versus Bianca and Jade. Now, I know, again, this might be some people not agreeing with this, but get Bianca and Jade a tag title run and then have them face each other when one of them turns heel down the line. Have them lose the titles that way down the line. Get this match to happen. I think it would be a banger. It would be so much fun. And having Bianca and Jade on the same team, having Jade at WrestleMania, that's what we need. I'm down for it. Let's go over to the men's side of the tag titles. Awesome Truth versus Judgment Day versus DIY versus the New Day. Again, this is another chance to get a bunch of talent on the show. Ultimately, I do think it'll be Awesome Truth versus Judgment Day for the tag titles, but you can mix in other tag teams there, but I just want to get as many guys from the roster on the show. And DIY's been great. New Day is always great. Judgment Day is the champs, and Awesome Truth has been getting over because R-Truth is one of the most over guys in the company. I think it could work. How about a little bit more turmoil from the Elimination Chamber? How about Randy Orton versus the Maverick Logan Paul for the United States Championship? This would be an awesome match. And again, like with Logan knocking Randy out at the Elimination Chamber, this just could lead to this match. I know Randy really likes putting talent over. I don't know how you would have Randy lose this match. I think he has to win. But if Randy's really dedicated on just continuing to put talent over, maybe Logan beats Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Could you imagine? But this is just what it seems to be, like what's going to happen after the Elimination Chamber. So we'll come back to that one. The story of Sami Zayn getting back to WrestleMania could be against Gunther for the IC title. Now we know that there's been a few names that were rumored to be facing Gunther, and some of them are not in the company anymore. So we're going to have to switch gears. We don't know if Sami Zayn could be inserted somehow to the world title match, but if you want to have a really good story, have him face Gunther at WrestleMania for that Intercontinental Championship. You want to have somebody who's super over, have the chance to beat Gunther's record. Sami Zayn is that guy, and let me tell you, this will be one of the matches of the night, if not the match of the entire weekend potentially. They're going to put on an amazing match, and Sami Zayn is just incredible. You just got to have Sami Zayn on WrestleMania, so I want that match. Number 9 is a massive match. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Roman Reigns versus Cody and Seth. I think you kind of have to do it at some point. Cody's called out The Rock and had Seth, being like, hey, we're not going to do this alone. Like, we both have to have each other's back. So it's already starting. We've already seen the seeds planted. So I think this match will ultimately end up happening. There's not too much to say about it because we're going to talk about it a ton until then. But you've got the bloodline against Cody and Seth. It's more than likely going to happen. A match that's locked in. Bayley versus Io Sky for the women's title. We already know this is going to happen. Bayley's going to get her opportunity. They need to promote this match more. This is going to be one of the best matches of the weekend. So yeah, Bayley versus Io Sky for that world title is going to be on WrestleMania. Another confirmed match, we have Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. This one just finished up being announced because Becky won the Elimination Chamber. So ultimately, you got to have this match for the world title at WrestleMania. The Man versus Mommy. This is going to be massive. We also have Rollins versus McIntyre for that world title, and like I said before, we potentially could have Sami Zayn in this match. So maybe Kevin Owens faces Gunther, maybe Chad Gable faces Gunther. We don't know what's going to happen with that IC title just yet. Right now, for the world title, it's pretty much locked in. Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, with Drew winning the Elimination Chamber match on the men's side, like Becky did on the women's side. So that's another locked in match, and it's going to be a banger for sure. And of course, what's likely going to be the main event of the entire weekend, you have the Tribal Chief, the leader of the Bloodline, the head of the table, Roman Reigns, the WWE Undisputed Champ, all the championships, he just wins everything, versus the American Nightmare, the winner of the 2023 and 2024 Royal Rumble, Cody Rhodes. This is a rematch from when I was at WrestleMania 39. I couldn't believe when Cody lost, but this is going to be huge. It's going to be an amazing match. Maybe Cody will finally finish the story. I hope he finishes the story. I want to see him finish the story. I think you want to see him finish the story, but we're going to see that match. It's going to happen. There's probably a lot of matches in here that I didn't mention, so please leave them down below. And again, this is only the first video that I'm doing on this. We've still got a lot of time until WrestleMania. Maybe I'll make another one of these in a couple weeks with your suggestions included with my predictions. So leave your thoughts down below. If you're new here, like this video and subscribe, join the roster. I'd love to have you guys here. And again, that's what's good in wrestling. I'm Andrew. I'll see you guys in the next video.